Hey, welcome to Yard Talk. I'm your host, Doug LaForce. Today's episode, we're going to continue on from last episode with a interview in the hub section, which turned out really good. Good interview with a person I think that everybody knows. So we're going to get to that here just in a little bit. First things first, let's address an issue that several drivers have approached me on is our lot situation, and we do have some craters out there. So I just want to reiterate to please be careful. I don't want to see somebody roll their ankle or fall down and break a leg or something like that. But we have been told it's going to be fixed. I just don't know when. Sooner would be better than later, I think. Other than that, some good news on the shifting situation is we got the new tablet to go in the Yardbird, and I'm telling you what, for old eyes, that's a godsend because I've probably went through 6 or 8 pair of cheater glasses in the last year, breaking them, wearing them out because of taking them in and out of my pockets. But this thing is really, really nice. So thank you for that. That's really awesome. So let's go with this interview, then we'll wrap the show up afterwards. We'll talk about a few other things, and I've got a funny story I'm going to tell you after the interview. Introduce yourself, and let's dive right into this.
Doug, my name's Michael Sievert, and I've been with the company for 36 years now. This last month in March.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
So tell us a little bit where you started and then like what you're doing now. You've been here a while, so you've
Yes.
watched this company evolve to what it is today.
I have. I started out at the Brant Pike building. My first 3 years of employment were there. I was a Metro unloader and a primary unloader. Worked nights. And went to Wright State. The interesting thing, when I was at Wright State, that's where I got hired through, was there was a couple older men that there was like a pre-screening, and then there was the UPS people that I had the interview with. Well, when I went in, the older men told me first, they said, don't take a full-time job.
Okay.
Don't tell them you don't want to go full-time. Tell them you just want to go part-time. And I saw then it made sense to me, hey, they just want, part-time help. They're wanting to really get some people that want to give it their all for 4 years and that are career-oriented.
Okay. So now, but you were in school at the time, then you were attending Wright State?
I was attending Wright State.
Okay, great.
When I got my job there.
Great.
I'd been there for a couple years. So I told them, no, I do. And I did have a career plan in engineering. And like my dad, so I told them that, and they said, "Okay, come to work at West Carrollton." And I was living over toward London, Ohio, and it was going to be a long drive down to West Carrollton. So I wanted the Brant Pike building. I said, "Well, I can't. That's too far for me to travel." And they called me back in I think 3 weeks, and they said, "We do have a position for you at Brant Pike." So I went there, and it was hard work, but it was rewarding. It felt good, to work hard, get paid well. I remember being so hot and sweaty when after I got done with the job. There wasn't a lot of women around,
right.
And they had an automatic car washer, and I'd strip down to my skivvies.
That's awesome.
And run through the automatic car washer.
This is great.
to cool off because it was a long ride home. And I was hot, man.
Yeah. Well,
I love the water, so it was
there you
atomized and it cooled me off. And one time Ron Lindhorst called me and he just laughed.
Wait a minute. This falls into even what our safety messages are, and that is use existing equipment. So you're not out of line. You're using existing equipment to. That's awesome, man. That's a great story. I love it. That is awesome. Okay, so let's fast forward. Now we're here at West Carrollton, and
my work moved.
Okay,
I'm at West Carrollton.
Okay,
came here in spring of '90, and it was funny because the management was telling us, you guys, these guys coming from Dayton, they're going to whip you West Carrollton boys into shape on this car wash. So it was two car washes coming together.
Okay.
And we was like peas and carrots.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
So we got along good together, and of course, and we made the best of it, and it was about a 5-hour car wash, 5 hours a day. They were sometimes it would go in overtime, but
Right.
And we went through some stuff. Went through a lot of managers. Sometimes they had a manager in every wash bay.
Right. Right.
But so that was during like the Stan Randy years and Chuck Stratton and some of the other hard-nosed people.
Okay.
I went through, saw a lot of that. So yeah, it has changed a lot since then. But we'll get on with that in a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was working in the car wash. I had a few bumps and scratches around here learning this building and the poles and the support braces and everything. In fact, Henry and I got one time demoted into the load together because we had too many accidents in the building.
Yeah, it happens.
It happened. Yeah,
It happens.
but we got back in the car wash again, and here we are today. I'm a 22-3 now. And
Okay.
they put together a car wash job with a sort job, which is forklifting, and then car washing is the second half of the job.
Okay.
But I'm glad I got the job. I really am. I love the people here, and I see things have changed, possibly because of my seniority. I think management seems to be more personable now.
Yeah.
They do.
Well, I think.
Than-
I mean,
than they were.
it has evolved. To
Wasn't
what
so adversarial.
Right.
Yeah.
And that makes a big difference. I think so. And I mean, a different approach like that, a more personable
Right.
approach, and I think it works a lot better than the intimidation approach. I mean, you're going to get along with people much better. And this group here, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I haven't been here as long as many people have, but this hub is more close knit. I mean, it seems like it has the right balance of number of people. I mean, so you're seeing this. You get to see the faces, but you also have time to chat a little bit, and you get to know one another instead of like a big hub that has thousands and thousands of people or whatnot. You're not gonna have that.
You know what? That's so true. I've talked about. I can look 100 yards away and I can see you walking, or some of the others that I just know them because I'm around them so much. I know whose walk is whose.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Even more so than my own family.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we're here quite a
That's
lot.
That's right.
We are a family,
Yeah,
so
we are.
there's
That's
nothing
true.
wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
It's a pleasure, and it's not been too long that UPS started hiring family members,
right.
and that was good,
Oh,
and that's made it more of a family.
I think so. All right. Well, let's. I mean, unless there's something else work-wise you want to add, let's. What about you personally? In your personal life, what are your? You have some hobbies. You have likes. What do you like to do
Yeah,
outside
actually,
of work?
let me just
Go right
cap
ahead.
off the
Go right ahead.
the work situation. Yeah, I served as an employee mentor under Alexa Johnson. That was really rewarding, helping them out, helping the new guys out, helping them show them the way, and tell them to take safety seriously.
Oh, absolutely.
And for about 20 years, I've been involved in the safety committee. So those are all highlights.
Well, that's good to have. I'm glad
It
that
is.
Yes,
Thank you.
yes.
Yeah.
Well,
It's helped me
congrats.
in my own life too.
Well, good.
And as far as my own life goes, I'll try to put it in a nutshell. Chop me down if I start
No,
going down a
Go
bunny
right
hill.
ahead. Go ahead.
Getting too long.
What do you like to do?
Oh, what I like to do? Yeah, I love to fish. Planning
Okay.
on going up to Lake Erie here pretty soon.
Oh, awesome.
Going up.
That's a lot of fun.
I sit, I'm 350 pounds, and I don't. If I'm in any kind of a mid-sized boat, everybody has to go to the other side. When
Oh,
Mike
Lord.
goes to the one side, they have to all go to the other side to keep everything balanced. So I like to just get my big butt down in the canoe and sit down in the bottom of a canoe of 17-foot Grumman, and all the kayakers say, "Look at that big boy, he looks pretty stable in that
That's
canoe.
awesome. No,
So
that's
I
cool.
flew it out through the
That's
lake.
cool.
I can take 4 and 5 foot waves coming off of the Jet
Nice.
Express ferry.
Oh, that's
As long as I
cool.
know they're coming.
Right, right. Yeah, you don't want it
gotta-
unexpected.
Exactly, exactly. But I love to go up there and smallmouth fish.
That's awesome.
I used to do a lot of hunting, but I don't do so much hunting anymore. I like to go out and bird watch. In fact, there's one of the islands will have a lot of birds coming through, and I make a lot of different bird sounds and animal
cool.
sounds and stuff like that.
Want to give us an example?
Yeah, there's a mourning dove.
That's
And then-
awesome. Very
and then
good.
a robin.
Oh, you're a very
Yeah.
talented guy. I
then when
I didn't know this.
And then the nurses, when they're putting me under, like for my appendectomy, they want to hear some of the bird sounds. I did a barred owl for them, and they got them all laughing.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
You're
Well, I know
But,
we've swapped recipes a few. You like to cook?
I do. I love to cook. I like one of my favorite things two things as far as a meat dish to make is a rolled roast with like a carpetbagger's roast. I put all this seasonings and goodies inside the meat. I fillet out a pork loin and a deer loin, season them, lay them on top of each other, then roll them up and wrap them in twine after I lay bacon across it.
Nice.
And
It's good stuff. Good
yeah,
groceries.
as far as a pie, I like my favorite pie to cook is a key lime pie.
Oh, I love
It's
that.
easy to cook.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah,
They're good.
it really is. I'd like to look at retirement. I'm waiting for the contract. Some people are telling me wait for the contract,
Well,
but
hey,
I just
you
went
know.
into the ministry. We just built a church,
Oh, good.
and
Good for you.
it took us about 3 months to build the church up. And myself and my associate pastor.
Give it a plug.
Oh, okay.
Tell us where it's
Yeah,
at.
Church of the Body of Jesus Christ, non-denominational, on the corner of 201, State Route 201, and U.S. Route 40,
Okay.
up just about 2 or 3 miles north of Interstate 70.
Okay.
Runs parallel.
Okay.
40 runs along
Cool.
70, But yeah, we have Sunday services at 2, and then Wednesday services are 7.
Okay. Well, good. Good path.
Yeah, we've gone into prisons, gone into about 4 different prisons in the area. We could also go into the nursing homes, and we have a guy that plays guitar and piano, and
Well, good.
it's really wonderful learning the people's names.
Well, that's awesome.
And I'm trying to transition into retirement.
Well,
I have something to do.
Yeah. Well,
as
I mean,
as I get ready to retire.
everybody has their own circumstances and stuff, and especially, I mean, when you have that many years in a place, and you're not an old man, for lack of a better way of putting it, it is hard to make those decisions, and you get so ingrained in what you're doing and used to what you're doing. A lot of people get afraid, or maybe not afraid. Maybe I'm using the wrong word, but it's like, okay, what am I going to do with my time? But you sound like you're in you're transitioning in a different path. Which
I've been blessed here. I have, the big guys that are still around that remember the old Mikey. They'll say, how is it you're still here? Or whatever. Nothing. I said, by the grace of God.
There you go. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing
But
wrong with that.
I just turned 60, so I'm thinking, you know what? I have had a good life, and it's time to. I may not have many years left. I don't know how many years I've got left, and but I know that I'm at the end of my life, and I thought, what a better way to spend my life than to do this.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. That's great. That's awesome. That's a great testimony as well. That's really good. Is there anything else you'd like to share? Any other things you like to do? We did fishing and cooking and your ministry. You're a busy guy.
Oh,
And not to
Swimming.
mention all the hard work he does here too. I mean, Johnny on the spot and working as directed.
that's right. I got reprimanded for not keeping my phone close to me when I take my breaks.
Hey,
Because I'm all over the building with that forklift, and I understand they were having a bad day too. So
hey, it
it's all
happens.
good. It does.
It all comes together. So
That's right.
and we get up and do
That's
it
right.
again tomorrow.
I do. I pride myself with to have a good working relationship with all
I
my
agree.
supervisors.
This
It's
guy,
important to me.
has always been very, just a great attitude. And any day, and it doesn't matter what the weather is, and it doesn't matter if it's cold, if it's hot, whatever. Mike will always greet you with a smile. That's one of the attributes you have. You're a very personable person, and I thank you for that, because there's not a whole lot of people like that in this world. That you're very approachable, can have great conversation, and at any rate, I thought I'd give you a big pat on the back for that. So.
Thanks, Doug. I have to parry that off to the Father.
That's
that
good.
his word and what he's made me to be. Give him the credit for that. But
That's awesome. Very good.
I sure enjoy my UPS family.
Hey,
And it'd be a sad day to leave, that's for sure.
yeah, but like you said, move on, do maybe bigger and better things. You never know. You never know.
I'll have friends from here. I'll
Oh,
have
you
friends
will.
from here for life.
You will. You will. No doubt. Anything else, brother?
That's good, brother.
That's great. I appreciate you so much. Thanks
Appreciate
a lot.
you too,
This is
Doug.
great. I love it.
Well, that was great. And I think there are a lot more people here that feel the same way as Mike does, that we are kind of like an extended family. That means a lot when you're close knit like that, and work well within a facility. Well, at any rate, let's get to that story I was going to tell. To put this in perspective, this happened shortly after I joined the company in the department, and was basically running the ropes. And as everybody knows, that we share tractors in this department. And when you're a new hire, obviously you don't have a bid, so you're on call and you just work as directed. So, at any rate, I was called in and had to go do some TDP work, and was at a customer. I backed up to the dock, and this customer, you had to go inside, so I went inside, but I left the window down about halfway on the driver's side. It was a really pretty day. Went inside, got loaded up, opened the door to come outside, and the skies had opened up. It was raining like cats and dogs. I was like, oh crap. So I got in the tractor. The seat was wet, and I was really concerned about the seat, and because this tractor was sharing with Big Money, and I was like, oh crap, he's going to kill me. The seat's wet. So I dried it up as best as I could with paper towels and whatnot, and that, and got back, and it me sitting on it and whatever absorbed some of the wetness or whatnot. So I was thinking, okay, hopefully this will be all dry. I got wiped up all the water on the floor and whatnot. It was a Sterling. So at any rate, fast forward a couple days later, and just so happens I was there, and I seen Big Money walking up, and I mean, he had a presence to his walk that I knew something was wrong. And here he came. Well, he whipped out that finger and pointed at me and said, I got a bone to pick with you. And I'm like, oh God, he's going to kill me. I mean, he says, I can't believe that a man would put his hands in another man's gloves. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I have no idea. I was like, whoa, what are you doing? He goes, I've got 2 sets of gloves in there, and one's rubber, and they're fueling gloves and whatnot, and if it's raining and wet, why would you use the leather gloves? Well, there was a big misunderstanding. I never used his gloves. It was where the window was down. I never thought to check his gloves. His gloves got wet. He thought I had worn his gloves, and he was pretty upset about it. But I still razz him today. He laughs about it now. So, anyway, we had some storms the other night, and I seen him out. He had his rubber gloves on. So we kind of shared that story over again, relived it, and he just got a good chuckle out of it. So I thought that was kind of humorous. It was probably funnier if you were there, but I thought I'd share that. I got a kick out of that. On a serious note, for anyone new, or have you been here a while, it's always nice to pass it forward, especially when you're sharing equipment, is to leave the equipment the way you found it. Or if anything, leave it cleaner than what it was before you used it. Well, I better put a safety message in here at some point, so I guess the safety message will be the weather's getting nicer, means a lot more traffic out on the highways and side streets. Please be mindful of our two-wheel friends out there that may not be paying attention the way that we should, or testing the limits of their machines. And that goes for the four-wheelers as well, and some other people driving the same types of vehicles we are. Tempers flare when the temperatures go up, it seems like, and some people don't exercise really sensible or logical thinking. So let's all just be really careful out there. The main thing is to get home safely, go back to our families safe. So everybody be safe out there, and until next time, I'm just going to wrap this up. So till next time, be safe.